A young man named Enrique Gonzalez posted a video on his account on October 27, 2024. In a market, a fair. It was at night. The place was closed. He worked as a security guard of the place when he started hearing a strange noise. And upon checking, he saw something that left him completely stunned. Pay attention to the evidence in the video. We can see a figure that apparently moves by itself, leaving Enrique completely terrified to the point of falling to the ground before the video ends. Unfortunately, the video has no context about what happened, only the images that were posted on his account. Now, what happened here? Could it be that this figure, this clown, is possessed by some dark force, or is it just a manipulated video? As always, you decide. We start with the video posted on TikTok on November 23, 2024. A young woman named Zizari. She was taking a walk with her dog on a road that goes through a forest. However, things changed. When the young woman turns the camera back and sees someone who is following her. As we can see, a strange creature that appears to be a tall person, dressed in black, is following the young woman and her dog. The young woman seems to stay calm and keeps walking, although a bit faster. The young woman told in another video that she started recording because she felt that someone was following her. She took her phone and started recording, and when she checked the recording, she saw that figure that was a few meters away from her. Fortunately, the young woman managed to get out of the forest and get home, and to this day she doesn't know who or what it was that was following her, whether it was a stalker. A ghost hunter who was exploring a haunted forest didn't expect to encounter such a frightening figure as this one. Watch this.
Astagfirullahaladzim, matanya menyala, Bret. La ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah, wa akbar, astagfirullahaladzim, tutup guys.
It's recorded very clearly. The figure, which is suspected to be a kuntilanak, has a very strange and terrifying face. Its eyes are white at first, but then change to a bright red, which causes the man to be deeply frightened and feel chills of fear. This chilling video shared on TikTok shows a man in the forest who almost suffers an accident because of a terrifying figure like the one we'll see now. Watch this.
Astagfirullah. Ya.
It's recorded very clearly. A strange figure with a very terrifying appearance suddenly appears in front of the man. But not only that, a snake also suddenly appears and coils around his neck, causing extreme pain and panic. However, when he manages to free himself from the snake, the terrifying figure has already disappeared completely. This brave truck driver decided to risk stopping to rest and test his courage in a place known to be haunted, where it's said that many apparitions have frightened drivers passing through there. Watch what terrifying thing he found in that lonely place. It's recorded very clearly.
Ya bener sampean. Apa jenenge? Tibake mesinku sing keder. Dudu iki. Dudu apa lur ya? Nah, bener wingi geter iki lur. Wingi geter mesinku. Soak wis tak servis ya lur ya. Hawane. Iki terus gendero dudu apa-apa lur. Wis. Aku saiki ngomong ya. Mambune moro-moro mambune gak enak lur. Mambu melati campur amis. Sapa iku? Sapa? Si ambu amis lur ya. Ayo. Sapa? Sapa iku lur? Cuk, sapa iki? Welut. Muncul loh. Loh. Lur. Sapa yo?
There's a pair of feet that seem to hang beside his truck. But the strange thing is that, when he runs to check, he finds no one there. The man claims that, just before the figure appeared, he smelled jasmine flowers mixed with a fetid stench in the place.
Ayo, sapa? Sapa iki lho? Cuk, sapa iki? Welut. Muncul loh.
Tadi itu sisa rantai Kak Ima. Sadar.
A man who works in tent and wedding decoration rentals shared a terrifying experience on TikTok that he had during a job. When he arrived at the family's house where the event would be held, he was shocked to discover that the yard where the wedding would take place contained several graves. He was even scolded because his vehicle stepped on some of these burial sites. However, something strange was captured by the camera once he finished installing the tent and decorations.
Ini makam 1, 2, sama ini makam panjang. Makamnya panjang banget guys. Kita lihat nanti hasilnya.
The graves were enormous and extended throughout the entire area. When reviewing the video later at home, the man realized that the figure of an elderly woman with disheveled hair and dressed completely in black had appeared, standing next to the tent watching him. This disturbing and terrifying presence had been there the entire time, but he didn't notice her presence until he edited the recorded material. On another occasion, 2 bridal makeup artists were heading at 3 in the morning to their clients' house when they were filled with terror upon seeing a white figure that stood under an arch in front of them.
Udah suka makam mundur jalan. Astagfirullahaladzim.
The apparition had the shape of a specter wrapped in white cloths located under the structure. Realizing that this was not a real person, they decided not to continue their journey and returned the way they had come. A worker returning home at night encountered a disturbing apparition.
Astagfirullahaladzim.
In the recording, you can clearly observe a woman dressed in white with a pale face who remained seated on a wall. Despite his fear, the man bravely stopped and filmed her for a considerable amount of time.
Orang jari-jari kok kosong kowe. Padang tapi ana kosong.
Several neighbors became alarmed when a mysterious figure dressed in white appeared, remaining motionless on the roof of a mosque. The presence stayed, still near the sound system on top of the religious building. Curious residents approached in groups to observe and record the phenomenon, but so far it has not been determined whether it was a real person or a supernatural manifestation.
Anh kurang kot ajuri gue kieu, ajuri non goblok-goblok teuing.
Women were creating social media content by dancing cheerfully, but only 2 of them noticed something strange. Behind the 2 who were in the back of the group, there was a figure dressed in white that remained motionless watching them. The 2 women who didn't perceive the presence continued dancing without concern, while the other 2 who did notice, it froze, showing expressions of terror on their faces. A man who was experiencing constant paranormal events in his home decided to document each of these disturbing situations. In one of his videos, you can clearly see how the kitchen faucet activated repeatedly by itself, but what was most disturbing was the shadow of a person that appeared reflected inside the dishwasher.
Excuse me, are you back there again? This has become its favorite spot. Now, and there he is. Okay, that's enough water, please. Okay. Everyone can see you in their reflection, bud. Everyone can see you in their reflection. And it's gone. Okay. I know he's not in here, but I just want anyone who's watching to see. This is too small, but just like it's not. I just wanted you to see. The cabinets are knocking again. I'm leaving. Out. That's enough for today.
When he went to investigate, he found no one in that place.
Okay, that's enough water, please. Okay. Everyone can see you in their reflection, bud. Everyone can see you in the reflection. And it's...
A Chinese ghost hunter ventured during the night to explore a public cemetery, but ended up terrified by what he witnessed. The images show with complete clarity a woman with an extremely pale face, dressed in a red dress, who remained seated on one of the graves. The figure watched the man with a completely expressionless facial expression, which caused him to run away in terror. A driver traveling through a dark and lonely place was filled with panic when he saw a strange and mysterious presence on the road. The apparition, which resembled a woman in a white dress, moved from side to side, blocking the path. The driver, filled with fear, reduced his vehicle's speed, hesitating whether or not to cross the area where this disturbing figure was. Procaded, a woman who observed an apparition on the exterior stairs of a house near the main road, hurried to record it. In the images, you can vaguely distinguish what appears to be an elderly woman dressed in white with disheveled hair, who remained seated silently on the steps. The person filming the scene felt deeply terrified by what she was witnessing. Security cameras installed in a park captured a mysterious woman dressed in white who walked alone before disappearing completely.
Astagfirullahaladzim, guys, kalian ada yang tahu nggak sih ini apa? Dia lagi mojok di ujung tangga. Itu liatin, kalian ada yang tahu nggak sih itu apa?
The recordings show with absolute clarity how this figure suddenly vanishes without a trace. The security guard who was watching these images from his monitor was startled and filled with fear upon witnessing this inexplicable phenomenon.
Ah, kelain mang eta mang.
Anjir.
Non eta mang euy.
A man at that moment, together with his wife, was climbing Mount Shikarai in the afternoon when the weather was rainy and foggy. When he playfully recorded his wife from behind, he didn't realize there was something strange as follows. Please observe. From the distance in front of them, there was an apparition that looked like a figure dressed in white that was just standing still. Strangely, when this video was recorded, the man didn't see or feel anything strange at all, and only realized it after he was already at home and watched the recording again. This strange incident was experienced by a woman who lived alone with her child in their new house. When she felt bored and playfully sang while being recorded, her camera accidentally captured a strange apparition as follows. Please observe.
Se as lágrimas embaçam seu olhar e o coração. Ai, mamãe, vai pra sala, vai pra mamãe gravar, senão eu esqueço. Tô já. Se as lágrimas embaçam seu olhar e o coração já não consegue mais se alegrar, é nessa hora que
Recorded on camera, there was an apparition on the stairs that looked like feet hanging downward. First, its appearance was not noticed by that woman. The second time, the woman realized and did a check. However, unfortunately, she didn't have the courage to go upstairs because the second floor was very dark. A man that night was hunting eels in the rice field while video calling with his friend. However, it wasn't an eel that he got, but instead he encountered this terrifying thing. Please observe.
Aduh, kela. Aduh, naon ngayet teh. Astagfirullahaladzim, naon itu euy?
Mang.
Itu naon itu? Astagfirullahaladzim, la ilaha illallah.
Mang.
Anjing.
Apa mang? Anjing.
Astagfirullahaladzim.
Ketempo mang, ku aing mang.
Lah, hah?
Ketempo ku urang mang.
Geus ku cacing kalung abeh. Teh layak keneh teu. Bisi karung.
Teuing tah. Tuh. Lain mang eta mang.
Anjir.
Naon eta mang euy? Naon eta mang?
As we could see, there was an apparition of a figure with long flowing hair and dressed in white that was standing in a dark place not far from that man's position. He who realized the presence of the figure that was suspected to be a very tall kuntilanak instantly got goosebumps and was frightened.
Tuh. Lain mang eta mang.
Anjir.
Naon eta mang euy?
A man who was on duty for night patrol was surprised and frightened when he saw the following apparition. Please observe.
Cek kolong yang bener ah cucu.
Very clearly recorded, there was an apparition of a head figure with disheveled hair and strange black face under the space beneath his hut. The figure that looked terrifying was observing him, which made the man instantly scream surprised and hysterically frightened. Seeing an apparition of a figure like this behind the house at 12 o'clock midnight, a man immediately rushed to record it. Please observe. As we could see, there was an apparition of a figure with long flowing hair and dressed in clean white that was sitting behind that man's house. The figure that was suspected to be a kuntilanak had a pale face and was observing him, which made the man instantly feel very frightened. A man who was testing his courage in a public cemetery was surprised by the arrival of an OJL driver, who was confused looking for his customer's address who had ordered food. According to the customer's address point, the location was correct, being in the middle of the cemetery. However, as we could see, there wasn't a single residence house there, and then this is what happened. Please observe.
Ini Jalan Senam nomor 24.
Jalan Senam.
Atas nama Ibu Asti.
Bapak nganter apa?
Ini food.
Pada. Di dia mah teu aya ieu teu aya bumi. Paling sebelah sana aya warga. Cuman jauh tapi titiknya di mana di sini?
Iya sih,
Titiknya di dia laras Bapak.
Nomor 24.
Dicoba dicat dari dia tebih atuh ka bumi paling ditu aya nih orang. Itu paling ditu aya warga sareng paling ditu tapi tebih. Pak, motor di mana?
Oh, nak.
Yakin Bapak?
Mau nanya?
Masuk ke kabel Bapak. Hei! Anjir! Kalau ngagetin, enggak anjir si Bapak itu wanian bener loh Tem. Astagfirullahaladzim, maaf temen saya agak kasar ya. Si Bapak di jauh tadi itu sih ya. Jauh ya Bapak. Itu turun. Ayah. Pak, yakin Bapak coba abis ninggal deh cik Pak. Yakin eta? Asal wadah. Yakin eta? Asal wadah. Oh.
As we could see, right in front of that Ojol driver, there was an apparition of a figure with very long and very disheveled hair. However, unfortunately, its real form was not seen completely. It was only briefly seen like a head figure with very long hair and as if it had a white face. What is your opinion? What figure was that? Write your answers in the comments section.
Yakin Bapak coba abis ninggal deh cik Pak. Yakin eta? Asal wadah.
A man heard sounds coming from behind his house at midnight, and when he checked it, this is what he found. Please observe.
Coba lihat guys, tuh guys. Naik duku-duku aja. Nyata nggak? Ayo. Kepalaku besar. Oh, apa itu? Tajum, tajum. Ayo, tajum. Oh, aduh. Mana zoomnya guys? Mana dia?
As we have already witnessed, that man bravely dared to record the apparition of the figure that was behind him. The apparition briefly looked like a pocong but had a large head according to that man's testimony and direct observation.
Naik duku-duku aja. Nyata nggak? Ayo. Kepalaku besar.